So I'm doing my sort of comparison of veteran between Doom 3, DHEWM 3, and then just vanilla Doom 3. And so I played the source port on veteran, and now I'm playing vanilla on veteran. And yeah, I'm really not seeing a whole lot of differences. And really, actually, it's going better the second run that I'm playing on vanilla, probably because I already played Doom 3, first on veteran. And from what I'm seeing, as far as I can tell, the majority of the differences I'm seeing are really just down to playing on veteran. Now, I'm not an expert on Doom 3. I haven't played as much as Half-Life 2, and I mean, nobody knows everything about anything. And, I was reading up on it, and the first things I saw, if you looked at like the difficulty level or skill level, whatever, on like the wikis, pretty much they would say that the only differences were armor absorption on hard and nightmare, and is lower, and then you get less med kits on veteran, and then none on nightmare. Um, that plus some extra enemies, and of course nightmare, your health ticks down. And you start with the soul cube, but if you just read that, that would seem like they were the only differences. Well, I was having a sort of adjacent issue while playing the game, and in Mars Underground, I'll get to that in a second if I remember to. But so I was trying to find an answer to a problem, and I noticed reading the actual level page on the wiki, they had a breakdown of how many different items were on the level, and even they had it like you know bracketed or whatever for separate difficulty levels if they were different on like different levels. And so it turns out that not only does veteran have less health pickups and the lower armor and like everything else I already mentioned, the absorption, whatever, all that shit, but also um, it does have like not just less health pickups in general and like more enemies, but it actually has less ammo as well. And it makes sense because it sort of seemed like there was more going on. But what's weird about it, like that for me, makes it weirder because Ari was well aware of Doom, of BFG. I call it BFG. It's not Doom 3 BFG. It's just BFG. It's not Doom 3. Doom 3 is Doom 3. BFG is, some re envisioning or whatever you want to call it. It's not Doom 3. But supposedly, they made you move faster, and then they fucked up the lighting. But then another big thing was they added more armor pickups or ammo pickups. Well, so I'm halfway through my second veteran playthrough, and I have not had an issue with ammo at all. Like I can't think of a single time that I've ran out of ammo, and you know I think maybe a part of it is that people just ignore the cabinet codes and like the door codes because they don't like the PDA stuff. Now, me personally, I loved it. And people compare it to System Shock or whatever, and nah, not really, not at all. Actually, I mean, the only comparison is that they both have audio logs, maybe, right, or like whatever, but they're no way comparable to any like real degree of actual palpable gameplay or whatever. They're nowhere close. But it just shows you how superficial humans are. That's the basis they make the fucking comparison on. But nowadays you don't even have to listen to the audio logs or read the emails to get the codes. You just look them up on the wiki or whatever. Just put in Doom 3 cabinet codes or fucking whatever. It'd be like the first result, right? Like nowadays, I do that with Deus Ex. Like I don't ever remember logins and bullshit with Deus Ex. I just use the wiki for it. Who cares, right? Like what's the difference between that and just writing them down and just having that? Like there's fundamentally no difference. But now there's kind of no excuse at all. But what's weird about it though, like doubly so, is that even on veteran, if I let myself waste some ammo and kind of play a little bit sloppy, um, and basically I have a habit of wanting to reload constantly because I don't like taking damage. I try not to do that, but on the second playthrough, I've been doing that. I've been letting myself like pretty much take damage on purpose because I, you know, kind of have a better feel of where the enemies are going to spawn, where the pickups are, and this and that, right? And it helps a lot, even one playthrough. I don't remember the last time I did veteran, but I did a couple levels of marine and whatever. I don't know, the normal and easy, and yeah, they were definitely like. There's apparently I was right. There's a third shotgunner on Mars Underground. Normally there's only two, but yeah, there's actually or hold on, there's an extra one. Now I don't know. Now I'm kind of mixed up on it, but there are more enemies to an extent, less ammo. But it's like if I let myself kind of waste the ammo a bit, be kind of sloppy with health, so basically I have to pick up health and armor more often, and don't worry so much about the cabinet codes. I'm still not having any trouble with ammo. So like, who was fucking up so bad with Doom 3 that BFG had to add all this additional ammo? And it just shows you how much motherfuckers suck at video games. And like, this is the modern audience, right? Like, it's not just, oh my god, fags, or like, oh, they put niggers in my video game. It's like, no, it's idiots who can't handle the most basic having to think for themselves, right? Like, they need a waypoint everywhere, telling their dumbass what to do, right? And there are some kind of, hardcore FPS that have that sort of, always telling you where to go thing. But it ends up being games like Painkiller, where Painkiller, the compass or whatever it is, really just points to the next checkpoint, right? Which on trauma matters because you can't do manual saves on trauma. Or well, I think you can use the quick save, but other than that, it's checkpoints. But fundamentally, it's just telling you the most vaguest way, like, direction to go. And there's really there's no objectives per se in something like Painkiller, right? I mean, there are, but it's like, it's not really like hand holding. It's just like, hey, go here next, right? Like, at that point, it's kind of no difference than the fucking loading screen map of Doom 1 or whatever. But your modern average gamer is a chuckle fuck that like truly has to have their hand held on everything, right? And you can sort of see where some of that comes from. Like, for an example, as I mentioned before, Iron Storm is like the opposite problem, where you have no fucking clue what to do unless you've already played the game or just stumbled through it or given up and read a walkthrough, right? It's like that plus playing it long enough to just remember where everything is. And that's the thing. I'm not susceptible to the curse of knowledge bias. Like, just because I know something, I'm still aware of the fact that of what it feels like to be a brand new day one player of the game, right? So I can understand why something might not be obvious to someone else. But we're talking beyond that. It's not like, oh, there's a secret armor or this or that, over here or wherever. Like, not just the cabinets or whatever, but there's some like just straight up secrets. Most of those I remember. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about like, they can't even handle the modicum of thought necessary to just go through the level intuitively till they find something that seems like it should be important, right? And I mean, like, good level design that it won't have to hold your hand. That'll be enough, right? Or I guess you can consider that the hand holding. But if you can guide the player, environmentally, then that's good gameplay, right? So the modern crutch is, oh, just put yellow spray paint on everything, right? Well, it made sense in Counter-Strike, given the sort of like, you know, lore or whatever of the game, right? The context of the game, for them to be spray painting where the sights are doesn't make so much sense in some random horror game. It's like, oh, how nice, of the demons to. I mean, it's kind of stupid like that, like even like playing Painkiller or it's like before like Sabaoth, or fucking whoever in Doom 3, or really any of these games. It's like, how nice of the demons or whatever to give us all this ammo before we're about to fight them, right? To the point to where if you pay attention, a lot of times you can determine where shit's about to happen based off of how much ammo there is, right? And that's something else, with Doom 3 is, so even on Veteran, I really don't have a problem with ammo, but in my case, it's kind of an opposite problem. I hear most people say, oh, there's so much shotgun ammo because they wanted you to use it. Well, I sort of have the opposite problem. Even at the end of the game, on my last playthrough on Veteran, um, like I have the habit of, I actually over prefer the shotgun because I just love the Doom 3 shotgun. I love how Doom 3 plays. To the point to where even on the final pre-battle, and it gives you all the ammo caches, I still only maybe have like a half of the maximum ammo for the shotgun, right? Which, I mean, you don't use it at all. Kind of don't know why they bother fucking giving it all to you, but it just shows how much I prefer the shotgun in Doom 3. But because I've been thinking about it and paying a little bit more attention, one thing I would say is, so the meta that you should run with Doom 3 is that, if you see ammo around, use it, right? Like if you're seeing grenades or, whatever particular ammo for a particular weapon, in the case of Doom 3, at least that's the them telling you that, here's the weapons that'd be best for this job, right? So a great example would, of course, be all the fucking rockets you get right when you have to deal with all the fucking commandos, right? And the revenants. There's also several parts during whatever the part is with the EFR bridge and like bullshit like that. It's like Alpha Labs near the end or whatever the fuck it is, right? You get all these grenades, and it's like, well, look at all these enemies they're throwing at you that are perfect for chucking grenades at, right? The shotgunners and fucking spiders and bullshit. And you get so many fucking grenades, even on Veteran, that it's like I truly have to waste them to ever get below like 20 of them, right? And you can carry 50. So, trust the level designers with that one. If they're giving you ammo for a particular weapon, it's probably a good idea to be using it in that situation. Even to the point if you get a lot of pistol ammo at the points with the spiders, yeah, if you stay back some, you can just, knock them off one after the other from a distance. But a lot of people, it's sort of like with the Doom 3 shotgun in general. They don't want to use the shotgun how it is. They want to try to use the shotgun the way they think the shotgun should be. And when it's not that, then they want to blame the Doom 3 shotgun. It's like, no, you're just, not willing to use the shotgun how it was intended, right? Like, if you don't like the Doom 3 shotgun, that's not a flaw with the Doom 3 shotgun. That's just you not liking it, right? It's like music or something. There's a lot of music I can't stand. That doesn't make it bad, right? It's just not my cup of tea, right? Or like I mentioned with, Stellar Blade, Bayonetta, or, whatever other kinds of game. I'm really not into fantasy or hack and slash or really anything except like first person shooters and occasionally platformers, right? A lot of the older ones kind of are both, right? Like Turok or fucking Half-Life or whatever. But that doesn't mean that those games are bad. I don't prefer them, right? But they want to use the Doom 3 shotgun as if it were the Doom 1 or 2 shotgun. And it's like, well, no wonder you don't like it. But that's not the one we're using. But it's like trying to, it's taking a training program, a weightlifting program, changing it, not getting results, and then blaming the program. It's like, no, you didn't do the program. You did your changes. And, something like that, where they don't want to just accept that it is the way that it is. And once you start modifying the spread and damage and all this, you're not playing Doom 3 anymore. You're playing your modification. And if you want to play mods, that's fine. Like back when the duct tape mod was new, I fucked with it for a little bit to see what it was like. But I pretty much already knew what anyone knows, which is that it just fucks up the game. The game was never designed for that. And yeah, I don't know. Kind of abrupt. I'm just going to end this one here.